OK. Tranmere manager Ronnie Moore cancelled Sunday's day off for his players after they lost their third home game in a row in the league at Prenton Park, while Millwall confirmed their promotion potential. Peter Stevenson reports.
On the world's oldest ferry crossing, you leave the big city clubs of Liverpool and Everton. A short ride across the Mersey takes you to Birkenhead, home of Tranmere Rovers. Work meant big fan Jake Keogh couldn't make the Millwall match, but he's happy with Ronnie Moore.
Really doing a good job. We've got some good players in there, and hopefully with this side we got now, we will get promoted this season, putting in some good performances and stuff. It's just the other teams are good as well. It's a good quality league this season, so to get into the playoffs we're going to have to excel ourselves.
After Millwall's heavy defeat last week, Kenny Jackett was looking for a response. Tranmere, good on the road, needed to start producing the same form at Prenton Park. But the opening quarter of an hour put paid to that. After some neat build-up play, Trezor Candle, back after suspension, headed in. Tranmere's early opening fell to Chris Greenacre, but the finish summed up his team's performance. To make matters worse for Tranmere, Candle was then given far too much time and space and finished and celebrated in style. Tranmere started the second half better, but substitute Gareth Edds will want to forget his first touch. It was a costly miss, as Millwall soon added a third. Candle timed his run perfectly and gave Jimmy Abdu the chance to turn in his first Millwall goal, despite Tranmere's offside protests. A neat late header from Baz Savage was little consolation for the home crowd. Candle had put Millwall 7 points clear of Tranmere. Magnificent. And left Moore dejected.
This is the first time for a long time that players have let me down, because that's 3 on the trot we've lost here. You know, it's 19 goals we conceded in 10 games. So we're having to score 3 times to win a match, and, you know, it's impossible to do that.
But Millwall's 6th win of the season delighted Jackett.
Played 10 games, and we've got a reasonable points total, and, you know, we're in a good position in the league. So after 10 games, we've just showed that we are capable of having a good season. Now, you know, the next section of games, really, we have to do the same and try and take it on.
Just another twist, then, on the long voyage to the Championship. But one day when young Jake was perhaps better off working.
Yeah, when I said earlier there was no booing, I was lying, Peter, because Tranmere fans weren't very happy. 3 home league defeats in a row. You wouldn't be, would you?
No, 3 out of 5, and it used to be such an intimidating place to go to, Prenton Park. They used to be very, very strong and resolute, and Ronnie's, you know, just hitting the nail on the head there, conceding too many goals and too much of an easy touch.
But Millwall going really well. I think it's 6 wins in 7 games for them now.
Yeah, up to 4th, and you're doing terrifically well. Candle's been a big play for them, coming back from suspension, and you know, they're giving him the service. He didn't really get a look in at Leeds. When he did, and he suffered from a lack of confidence, but that's what you're expecting to do, get the ball in the back of the net from the 6-yard box. Big strong lad, massive aerial threat and that. But he's also, I mean, playing with a little bit of confidence. We've seen there, let the ball run across him outside of his right foot, and yeah, poor technique on the somersault, I may add. Great technique in the finish.
10 of Tranmere's 16 points have been achieved away from Prenton Park, and their 3rd victory on the road so far this season came from a long-range strike from Chris Schuker after some jittery Orient defending. The O's now haven't won any of the last 7 matches in any competition, and they're 4th bottom. Jason Demetrio hit the post before Ben Chorley cleared the rebound. Martin Linger's called for his players to show more desire as they try to turn around their poor form, and nerves seem to be getting to them. The East Londoners created chances to get something from the match, but Adam Boyd was among those who fluffed their lines.
Tranmere's run of 3 straight home defeats ended as 2 second-half goals saw off Cheltenham. Baz Savage was first on the score sheet, heading in Chris Schuker's cross. It's just 1 win in 7 now for the Robins, who've lost 5 of their last 6 away games. Idrissa Sonko increased the margin of Rovers' win with a minute to go. Tranmere's 3rd win in 7 days lifted them into the top 6 for a few hours at least. Crewe arrived on the Wirral looking for their first win in 7 games, but fell behind 6 minutes into the second half. The Alex failed to clear. Chris Schuker burst through and set up Stephen Jennings for a simple tap-in. Schuker put the result beyond doubt with 16 minutes left. Dennis Lawrence misjudged Ian Goodison's clearance to leave Shuka with a clear run on goal. He slipped past Stephen Collis for his 4th goal of the season. Crew played the final few minutes with 10 men when Billy Jones was given a straight red card by referee Stuart Atwell for halting Baz Savage's run towards goal.
Stockport may be 11th, but they're only a victory away from a top 6 place. They created a good chance against Tranmere when Michael Rose picked out Peter Thompson. Tranmere finished the match with only 10 men. A minute after he'd been booked for a foul on Anthony Pilkington, left-back Andy Taylor lunged in on Leon McSweeney, and referee Nigel Miller had little alternative but to send off Taylor.
Contrast, Tranmere went to relatively new modern stadium, didn't you, MK Dons? What was it like going there for you? You'd gone there really on the back of a great run, haven't you?
Yeah.
Taking 10 from your last 12 points.
Unbelievable. I mean, we won 5 out of 7 games last month, and this is a great chance. I mean, you know, if that goes in, it's all about scoring at the right time. And the subs just come on here, 10 seconds, and you talk about being organised. And you know, one lad's come off, Kevin Gallen's come on, and nobody, because it's not his man to mark. Instead, they can't think for themselves sometimes, players, you know, and that's what drives your crackers. You know, somebody's got to see that he's spare, and they've got to pick him up. But unfortunately for us, you know, it was his first kick, but we played well there. We never deserved to lose a game, that's for sure.
Well, the referees have a link in their ear, you know, perhaps players next thing.
Yeah, I think that'll come. I think for some players at our level, it really will make them better players. We can have that earpiece, watch it left, watch it right. There's a 5 coming, you know. Something.
But again, you're bringing young players through, aren't you? Aaron Creswell, I think, came into that game for you. Young fullback.
Really, really good player. I mean, you know, just 18, and he couldn't ask for a better debut. You know, he's come in at a big stadium to play at. All right, there was 8,000 on there, but for your debut, it's still a little bit nerve-wracking, and he was absolutely brilliant for us.
Great. Okay.
Just one goal settled things at Prenton Park. Charlie Barnett's free kick caught the Morecambe defence on the hop. Ryan Shotton getting to the ball before keeper Barry Roach, and the Shrimpers were on their way out.
It's almost 5 years since Accrington last won an FA Cup tie, but Jimmy Ryan dispelled any inferiority complex for the home side. And they have the chance to try again in 10 days' time, thanks almost entirely to Kenny Arthur. Tranmere's players appear to take turns to be denied by the keeper.
Well, Tranmere take on Accrington Stanley in their FA Cup first-round replay at Prenton Park. The winner will play Peterborough United in round 2, and you can see the whole match live on Setanta Sports 1. Well, Steve Bauer is at Prenton Park for us tonight.
Yes, thanks very much indeed. Welcome to Prenton Park for the FA Cup first-round replay tonight between League One side Tranmere Rovers and Accrington Stanley of League Two. 29 places separating them in the Football League. A 0-0 draw 5 days ago means they must go again tonight for the right to go to Peterborough United in round 2. Tranmere Rovers, of course, with a great FA Cup history. 3 times in 5 seasons at the beginning of the century they reached the quarter-finals. Accrington Stanley tonight looking to reach round 2 for just the 3rd time in their history. Ian Snowden is going to be watching with me on Setanta Sports 1. Tranmere, so often the giant killers, are looking to avoid the shock tonight.
Yeah, that's right, but Accrington will be coming here. It was a tight game at Accrington, 0-0, but I'm sure Ronnie wants to get the tie over in 90 minutes as well, but I can see it being a tough night for both sides.
We've seen so many shocks in round 1 as well, and it would be a shock if Accrington came here and, as I say, reached the 2nd round for just the 3rd time in their history.
Yeah, it would be, but I'm sure Ronnie's looking positive. He's going to be positive tonight. I think he'll change his system, and I think he'll attack John Coleman's team, and as I say, it's going to be a tough game, but I can see Tranmere going through.
What does it mean for clubs in League One and League Two to get through and possibly get into that 3rd round with the big boys?
We all know what the FA Cup's about. I've played in FA Cup ties, and as a youngster, everybody wants to play in the FA Cup final, but I can't see these 2 teams actually getting there, but to progress and play the Premiership teams means everything to these players.
And financially as well, it's a big incentive, £20,000 just to win the game tonight, and as I say, the right to face Darren Ferguson's Peterborough United away from home in round 2. You can see how they do. The whole game is live over on Setanta Sports 1. You can join us for all the build-up. John Aldridge will join Ian and I as well, the former Tranmere manager, from 7:30.